Hello guys, this is the sixth video in our series Simplifying Flutter Packages. And in this one we are going to be setting up deep links in our Flutter app. For those of you who don't know what deep link is basically you generate a link and that link takes you directly to the part of your app, like any page or screen, whatever you want to, and it all happens based on that link. Like when you click on a link for an Amazon page, and then it directs you to that shirt or that cloth or whatever. So that is what we are going to do here. And one more thing about deep link is that if you click it and your app is not installed, it will take you to Google Play Store. And if you have a website, it can also take you to that website, and you can do basically all of these setups and where do you want to redirect and all of that. So pretty good stuff. So let's begin. So the deep linking platform that we are going to be used is Branch.io. So first let's start with what we are trying to achieve here for the purpose of this video. So now, as you can see on the screen, we have a default Flutter application. What we have here is that I have two links, t-shirt and settings. So this is basically like a store app, like Amazon. So basically these two pages is which we are going to be navigating to whenever we click on a link, and that link will take us to any of these pages. And now when we click on t-shirt, it is going to take us to a page which has a certain t-shirt and its title and its price and just a buy button. So that's it. And then there is another page, settings, which has settings, which is a static page. So now here the interesting part is that the t-shirt is not a static page, it's a dynamic page. So basically whatever you click when you go to that link, so this link is not going to take us to this United Colors of Benetton t-shirt. It's actually going to take us to any of the clothing or any t-shirt or any information that will be provided in our link. And based on the information on that link, we are going to be navigating to that page of that. And all we got to code is just this class that will take us to this page, and we will just pass on to it the values, and these values are going to be taken from the information provided in the link. So now let's see what is the code here. On the home page or the main dart, we have two buttons which will take us to store page and setting page respectively. And the store page basically takes a bunch of fields, and these fields are the ones these are hard coded right now, but we are going to pass it using the link. Okay, so now let's go to the setting up our Branch.io first, and then we will come back to it later. Now first we need to create an account on Branch.io, and we're going to be installing this Branch SDK plugin later, but let's just create the account on Branch.io first. Okay, so now you need to go to this website and just create the account. And then afterwards, when you have set up the account, you're going to be going to the dashboard, and this is basically how the dashboard looks. So I have already created my account. Now in the dashboard, we are going to go to the configuration. Inside configuration, we have a bunch of things that we need to set up. Now the first one is default URL, and this is basically the URL that we are going to be redirecting to in case everything fails. So for now I'm just going to type anything here. It won't matter for us. but of course you can type here whatever you want or wherever you want to user to be redirected. Now we need to go to our Android redirects, and inside it let's click on the I have an Android app, and then after that you have to create this Android URI scheme. You can use the default scheme or you can just create your own, and I will just type my app name. And this is, you should remember this because this is going to be used later when we do our code in our app. Then if your app is also on the Play Store, you can also add our Google Play URL. Now we need to enable app links, and then we basically need to add our SHA 256 fingerprints that we will generate from our project. So let's just go to the project and generate it now. We need to go to our Android Studio project and then to our terminal. Then first we type the command cd android and make sure that you are in your project Android directly, like I am here. Then after you do this, type gradle w signing report, and this will basically build your SHA 256 fingerprints, and you will see something like this. Now you just copy these SHA 256 fingerprints and then we paste it here. So after this is done, we are going to click on save, and okay, so we need to add a proper URL. So I'll just add http amazon.com. Now there are other things here that you can customize accordingly, and you should customize it if you are like ever for doing it for a company or like whatever reasons. But for now we are just going to be saving it and proceeding. So now that this is done, we need to start setting up in our Android app. First we need to go to this pub URL and we need to install this package Flutter branch SDK, and then let's import it also. So now what we need to do is copy a few lines of code and paste it in our Android manifest.xml. So we go to the plugin page of this deep branch IO, and then we click on this link. Now what we need to do is, in our project we need to copy some lines of code and paste it in our Android manifest. So we go to our Android manifest.xml. Now we copy this code and overwrite it to the one that is in our Android manifest. After this we copy some of these lines, these intent filters, and we copy this and we paste it in our Android manifest.xml. Now let's copy the code that is here, metadata, and then also paste it in our Android manifest.xml. And then we need to edit some of the fields that are in here. Then write your Android URI scheme that we gave when we were doing setup in our dashboard. And then afterwards we also need to add these two links. Go to your configurations, and we need to copy default link domain and alternate link domain, and then replace it in our Android manifest.xml. Now you need to go to your account settings. You need to go to your dashboard and then account settings. Now we will copy these two keys and replace it in our Android manifest. After this, we have almost done everything that is required in our setup. Now we just need to add a few lines of code in our main.dart. So first go to our main.dart, and in our main function, let's make it async. And then we just add these lines. Now, after you will run your app, you should see, for the first time after doing the setup, you should see these lines, and if you see these lines in your console, in your terminal, then it basically means that your configuration has done. But somehow if there is a problem and you stop at some step, then maybe go check to see if you have put up your live keys, your keys and your URLs correctly. So now that we have successfully completed the setup part, now we will just comment this out so that we don't call this again. We need to make our home page a stateful widget, and now we are going to have init state. Now after this, we are going to go to the package page, and from there we are going to copy some of the functions that they have provided us in their example. Then we are going to copy 3 functions. So first we need to copy this function listen dynamic links. So copy it and paste it in our homepage class. Then we are going to copy another function init dynamic links data, and also going to paste it in our homepage class. Then the last function that we will be requiring is the generate link function, and also copy this generate link function in our homepage. And finally, let's also copy these few variables that we are going to require. Now in the end, we just initialize our 2 functions, listen dynamic links and init deeplink data, in our init state. So these are basically the 3 functions that we are going to be using. These are 3 basic functions that are crucial for doing the implementation. So with these functions in our init state, our app is going to constantly look for the link data when it arrives or when the app opens. So, and with that we are going to move forward. Now let's move on to what it really does, and we are going to basically use these 3 functions to navigate to our desired page. Now first add a button to our store page, and the button will be called generate link. From there we will generate a link that will basically take us again to this page. So let's make this function, and inside its on pressed we are going to pass our generate link function that we copied. So first let's copy the function generate list and then paste it in our store page dart. Now in our function generate link we are going to be passing some data basically, so that with that data it will generate a link. So we are going to modify the function a little bit according to us, and I will pass it two parameters: branch universal object and branch link properties. And now we are going to call our function inside our on pressed. And now inside this function we need to pass our branch universal object and our branch link properties. But first we need to also declare our stream controller. Now we need to actually pass our branch universal object and our proper branch link properties. So let's go to our function void init deeplink data, and there is a branch universal object already declared, and basically we are going to use the same format here also. So we just copy that code and paste it here, and now we set and edit all of these fields according to us. And this is basically the metadata that is going to be coming from our link, and this is with the use of this is how we will be able to achieve our navigation, among other things. So now let's edit this according to us, and let's put the title, and in our title tag we are going to pass our actual title, and in our price tag we are going to pass our price, our image URL, and our category name. And as you can see, you can also add your other data and as much as you want to here, but for now this is all we need. So now let's move on to the next parameter, that is our branch link properties. And we again go to our init deeplink data function and copy our branch link properties object that is already created there, and we're going to do the same thing, paste it here, and then in our object link properties we also need to do link prop and dot add control param. So we are going to define it outside of this return statement and then put it inside our generate link. Now that all of this is done, let's add a print statement in our generate link function to check whether or not our link is getting generated, and if it is generated, print the link. So now let's run the app and let's see if it is successfully working. So now the app is working fine. So let's go to the t-shirt page, and here let's click on the button generate link, and you can see that our link is generated and printed in our console along with other data about the link. So we are halfway there. We have successfully generated the link, Now all we need to do is find a way to navigate to our page based on the data that is coming from the link. So one way how I choose to do it is using a key metadata that I will receive from the link, and based on that key metadata I am going to navigate to my desired page. And for our store page we are going to be passing our key to be 1. Now in our function listen dynamic links we are going to make an if statement that if our data our key, the data that is coming in from our key tag is equal to 1, then that word means that we need to navigate to our store page. So do the basic navigator.push function and navigate to store page. And the store page, as we have already declared, takes some of the values like the clothing category, like t-shirt type, image, URL, and all of that data is also we are going to be receiving from the link, and here we are going to pass that in our store page. And you can also print and confirm first if you want in your app that you are successfully getting all the values. Now if this key is not equal to 1, then we are going to be navigating to our settings page. So if key is equals to 2, we are going to navigate to settings page. So now what we need to do is copy a few lines of code and paste it in our Android manifest.xml. So we go to the plugin page of this deep branch IO, and then we click on this link. Now what we need to do is in our project we need to copy some lines of code and paste it in our Android manifest. So we go to our Android manifest.xml. Now we copy this code and overwrite it to the one that is in our Android manifest. After this we copy some of these lines, these intent filters, and we copy this and we paste it in our Android manifest.xml. Now let's copy the code that is here, metadata, and then also paste it in our Android manifest.xml. And then we need to edit some of the fields that are in here. Then write your Android URI scheme that we gave when we were doing setup in our dashboard. And then afterwards we also need to add these two links. Go to your configurations and we need to copy default link domain and alternate link domain and then replace it in our Android manifest.xml. Now you need to go to your account settings. You need to go to your dashboard and then account settings. Now we will copy these two keys and replace it in our Android manifest. After this we have almost done everything that is required in our setup, Now we just need to add a few lines of code in our main.dart. So first go to our main.dart, and in our main function let's make it async, and then we just add these lines. Now after you will run your app, you should see, for the first time after doing the setup, you should see these lines, and if you see these lines in your console, in your terminal, then it basically means that your configuration has done. But somehow if there is a problem and you stop at some step, then maybe go check and check to see if you have put up your live keys, your keys and your URLs correctly. Okay, so it works. But let's see what happens if our app is not in the background and our app is actually closed. So let's just close this app. Then we are going to generate another link, and this will be a link to go to settings. Now the setting page requires only one key value pair, so the key is just going to be settings page. Now that our link is generated, let's copy this link and paste it in our Android so as to run it when our app is closed. So as you can see, we have successfully reached the settings page even when our app was not in the background. Now let's also check for a clothing page, whether or not the clothing page, which is a dynamic page, opens if our app is closed or not. So I'll just generate another link, and this is going to be suits. And let me just add all of the metadata that I require. Let's put the title to be a festive suit, and our key is going to be store page. Category suits, price 8,000, and then let's quickly copy an image URL from the internet. Now let's create this link and let's check to see if this works. As you can see, we have successfully reached this page even when our app was closed. So all is working perfectly. So to summarize, we reached all the two pages that we had, whether or not our app was closed or open, and one of the page was a dynamic page. The information that we passed, it used that information and opened the page according to that. So this is how you implement deep links in Flutter. I hope I was able to give you some insight on how you can do this in your app and in a very simple process. Do check out our other playlists, and guys, please like and share this video, and if you subscribe, it will really give us the motivation to upload more such videos.
So please whatever.